So I want to run a quick little short one, which I pulled out of one of the longer videos. Well, I finish up work on that parts, the final bit of the nuances of training to failure. And ask a question that I asked a little while back and didn't, to my knowledge, get an answer to, and I won't get an answer to it now, but is worth addressing again. Which is this: is training to muscular failure bad, or are these studies valid? These same supposed evidence-based fitness professionals prattling on about how failure is bad because of excessive fatigue take various studies at face value because it suits their bias, despite the fact that the training protocols supposedly used in this study, on top of not only being impossible to complete in the first place, contradict that first statement. So one of them I talked about when I addressed that study that James Krieger had reported on, where stopping 2 reps short of failure generates as much growth as as training to failure. It supposedly had at least some individuals doing 50 sets for quads to failure in a week. 2 workouts of 25 sets to muscular failure, half on single leg press, half on single leg extension. Twice a week, 50 sets for 8 weeks, that's 400 sets to failure. Okay, number one, that workout can't be done. And when I did that video, I said, if you disagree with me, send me a video of you doing it. You know how many responses I got? 0, because y'all know I'm right. But the fact that James and Mike and so many others sort of take this study and what they did at face value just brings up the point. Because either training to muscular failure is bad, or it's possible to do 400 sets to failure over 8 weeks. It can't be both. Of course, the second study is Brad's famous volume study. And I just want to point out that all the people in the fitness industry going, failure is bad, are the same people that defended that paper against little old me for years, despite the fact that they've all walked it back to 10 to 20 sets per week to agree with me without having the guts to admit it. Hilariously, the second edition of Brad's book, Max Muscle, never goes above 22 sets per week per muscle group, and that's only for 2 weeks. The average volume of the workouts in that book is 9 sets per muscle group per week. Even Brad doesn't believe his own results. And anybody who said I was low volume, my generic bulking routine is double the average volume in Brad's book. Anyway, let's look at the study. All right, so they did 7 exercises: flat barbell bench, barbell military press, wide grip lat pull down, seated cable row, back squat, machine leg press, and leg extension. They, at the highest volumes, 5 sets of 8 to 12 on a 90-second rest interval. They took 120 seconds between exercises. Failure was defined as the inability to perform another repetition in proper form. So yeah, technical failure. And something like barbell bench and absolutely on back squat, technique will probably break down before physiological muscular failure. Pull down, row, leg press, leg extension. There is no failure form to break. It should be physiological muscular failure. So 7 exercises, 5 sets apiece. 35 sets to failure per workout. Done 3 times a week, that's 105 sets to failure per week. For 8 weeks, that's 840 sets to muscular failure. Looking just at the quads, it's 15 sets to failure per workout, 45 sets to failure per week, 360 sets to failure for the quads over an 8-week span. Sure. Now I've been waiting for about 3 or 4 years for somebody to send me a video of them actually doing this workout. And I'll be waiting a really long time because y'all all know it can't be done. Or you would have stepped up to prove me wrong by now. But ultimately it raises the same question. Is training to muscular failure so detrimental? Does it cause so much fatigue? Or is this study valid? It can't be both. So let me finish with the Bragato study that I have mentioned, and I actually made a mistake in the way I was reporting it. I should apologize and make that correction right now. So the study was another volume comparison, and they had the subjects do either 16, 24, or 32 sets per week. And they did that by setting up the workout structure during the week the same, and either did 4 sets, 6 sets, or 8 sets per exercise. All right, so on Monday they did bench press, dumbbell flat fly, cable triceps, parallel back squat, and leg extension. That's where I made the mistake. I kept saying that second exercise was leg press in previous videos, and I apologize for that. Tuesday, lat pull down, dumbbell reverse fly, bicep curl, seated leg curl. On all of the exercises except seated leg curl, they did 8 by 8 to 10 RM. The seated leg curl, they did 16 by 8 to 10 RM. I guess they didn't have a lying leg curl machine. Failure was defined as the inability to complete another repetition in good form. So absolutely, just like with Brad's study on the bench press, on the back squat, technical failure is probably going to occur before physiological muscular failure. However, what is failure on a leg extension? It's when you can't physically do the rep. There is no form to break. So that is true physiological muscular failure. These sets were done on a 60-second rest interval. Anyone who is trained with any degree of intensity, again, not any of the one y'all listening to this, or to muscular failure knows that those workouts can't be done. Even if we're going to nitpick and go, well, technical failure on squats, by the third set on 60 seconds, you'd be done. You would get 1 or 2 repetitions and you would fall over from systemic fatigue. And on leg extensions, where technical failure should be physiological failure, by the third set, your legs would be so locked up, you wouldn't even be able to start the next set. I know y'all know better than this. And again, I'm not going to ask anyone to send me a video of them doing it, because I know none of you will try, which just tacitly means you know I'm right, because you do. But the impossible workouts aren't even the dumbest bit about this. Now let's look at the total volumes over the length of the study. All right, so if we look at quads only, they did 2 exercises for 8 sets apiece twice a week. So that's 16 sets twice a week, 32 sets per week for 8 weeks, 256 sets to failure for quads only. The total volume is even more ridiculous. At each workout, they did 40 sets to failure, 160 sets per week to failure, 1,280 sets to muscular failure over the course of the study. 1,280. Do any of you actually believe this? I mean, come on, fitness professionals are citing these papers that used 3 sets of 10 to failure going, see, excessive neuromuscular fatigue. Then look at this and go, oh yeah, 40 sets to failure in one workout? No problem. 16 sets for quads in one workout? Sure. 80 sets per week? Oh yeah. Over 1,200 sets to failure over the course of the study? Somehow 3 by 10 to failure is excessive fatigue, and this is okay because it supports their bias that high volumes are superior? Come on, guys. Just a little bit of consistency would be nice. And I don't care that they got published. I question whether Brigado or Brad has any idea what they're actually doing, because these workouts can't be done. And you know I'm right. Because if you didn't, you'd send me a video to prove me wrong. And nobody has. And nobody ever will. A couple years ago, I said these workouts need to be videoed. We need to see what is actually being done to see if they can even be done. And when someone asked Brad, why don't you video workouts? He made a typical Brad excuse. Well, then we'd have to get someone else to review them or whatever. No, just video them and put them on your Instagram with all the other trite fitness crap you put up there. Prove to me and everyone else that these workouts can actually be done. Because I want to see someone do this. I want to see this study get videoed. I want to see someone do the Brigado study, just the workout once. Or you can tell me how they were able to do 1,280 sets to muscular failure over the course of 8 weeks, and somehow it was okay. Which is it, folks? Is training to muscular failure bad because it generates excessive neuromuscular fatigue and muscle damage? Or are these studies valid? It cannot be both. And I will wait with bated breath for an explanation of the discrepancy and contradiction that the evidence-based fitness professionals constantly find themselves in. See you next time. Oh yeah, nothing in this video is meant to advocate that you should train to failure. I'm simply asking for the fitness professionals to explain the contradiction.